We are very honored to been asked to come in and gown this morning for the colors. It's a huge honor to be called in. So I wanted to introduce our drum group. Our drum group is called White Salsa's Drummers. We are from Pascal Sherman, and first we have Nick Thomas from Miss Bielam, Larissa Gore from OMAC, Emily Verdusco, OMAC, Abe Tenasket, Ancient Lim, Tishina Gore, OMAC, and myself, Michelle. And we'll be singing a Robin song. It's about the land, it's about our people.
Thank you for that. We owe a great debt to all of our veterans, so we're going to ask you to introduce each.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Arnie Hall, United States Army, Vietnam, 67, 68.
Rich Bradshaw, U.S. Army Combat Medic, Vietnam, 68, 69.
Ken Tom, Navy, Vietnam, 64, 68.
Bill Radcliffe, United States Army.
Walker Marchand, 82nd Airborne Paratrooper, 3 combat tours, 2006, 2007, 2007, 2008, or 3 in a row there.
Bill Ives, United States Navy, 1955-59.
Lee McCartney, U.S. Navy, 1957, 1961.
Arnold Cleveland, United States Marine Corps, 1956, 1963.
Christopher Ford Thompson, U.S. Army Engineer Corps.
Dave Chinaska, U.S. Army, 1972 to 1979.
Thomas Bissett, U.S. Army, Vietnam, 1965-1966.
Thank you very much. Let's have a great round of applause. And all of us. Okay, now we'd like to introduce the Peacemaker group, and Joe Marcelli will introduce each one of them, and they will do the opening prayer for today's general membership meeting.
Well, good morning, everyone. We are the Caldwell Tribes Elder Peacemaking Group. We've been doing this for about 7 years now. We take our referrals and work with our young people from the court. And also we have families that just, or individuals that want to come and meet with us. And we talk to them about, it's more traditional kind of help to them, a lot more spiritual base. And so we talk about them, about having a good life, a good heart, about how to live in their own body, about using their brain, how to think, how to plan. And it's really working. And so many of our young people don't have grandparents, and many of them grew up without parents. So we let them know that we care and we value them. And I forgot to introduce myself. I'm C.B.C.General. I'm retired from Indian Health. And we really enjoy doing what we do.
Good morning. I'm Julie Anderson. I'm on the Peacemaker Circle. I'm from Omac. And we are having successes with some of our people that we're meeting with. We do meet with people all over the reservation, and usually it's Omac and it's Phelan. But it's working Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Lionel Friedlander. I work at Gospel Sherman Indian School, and when I'm needed, I work with the peacemakers also. And I really enjoy doing that with the people that we work with.
Debbie Stanger, I work for the suicide prevention program, our tribal health program, and I love doing the Peacemakers Circle because I do see progress with our young people, and I really encourage a lot of young people to come through our program. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Elizabeth McCartney. I've been with the Peacemakers since probably about 6-7 years. And we have worked with people from all the different districts. It makes me feel really good to see them come in so angry and upset and being mad at everybody. And then it just, as time goes on, they just kind of mellow out and they learn new ways of dealing with anger and they learn how to forgive themselves and others. And it just makes me feel good to see them turn their lives around. And we don't have, most of them are like this few, it takes a little longer to get them. They've got such built-in hurts from the time they've been so small that it takes time for them to get out of them. But we have patience, we accept them as they are, we do not judge them. And I think that's what it is. They're being accepted for who they are. And everybody deserves a chance.
Thank you. My name is Ronald W. Flynn. I'm also with the Peacemakers. It's really an honor to be here to help the young ones and middle-aged ones that are having trouble with domestic violence and things. I try to tell them the truth about my lifestyle when I was a young guy. And that really helps them. When you level with a person in real life, they'll listen to you. And again, it's an honor to say a few words to credit you today. And I was saying a few simple prayers. Creator, protect this circle of people here. Protect all of us that are here today, that we have families, different areas, protect them. The ones that are traveling have to travel distances, protect them. Protect our young, save them from the drugs and alcohol, from suicide. And Creator, our elders, we're losing them slowly. What they bring to the table, we lose a little of ourselves, the traditions. So protect them also, Creator. Protect this meeting today. May everybody speak with open heart, open mind, and open heart, and a good heart and mind. And Creator, protect the 4 directions, the plant life, animal life, the water life, the air that we breathe. Keep it pure. Keep our hearts pure. Give us strength to pray in your name. Come look and say,
Thank you very much for that prayer. Chairman?
Welcome, everyone. Very big welcome. It's so good to be here today and to have all of you here today. And it's something that it's so inspiring to see our elders get up here and talk from their hearts here this morning. It's great to see the youth come for us and to see our veterans. I really appreciate that. It really makes me very proud. Are you proud, Colvilles? That's great. We need to be proud. We need to be proud of who we are. We need to be proud, and we need to show our children we're proud so they can be proud. White Peace Not Seal, Sinaka. That's the name that was given to me by Elder Tom Louie, who passed away a couple years ago. And he's actually also the name of my uncle, Matisse Boyd. And my mother is Violet Boyd, whose mother was Christine Zog Boyd. And my father was the late Louis Boyd, and his mother was Agnes Christian, and her father was Baptiste Christian from the Earl Lakes Original Territory. And I'm a proud Lakes person myself, too, in Colin. And one of the things is throughout my life, I've had a lot of experiences that have allowed me to travel throughout this country and through Canada and see a lot of reservations, see how people, the people of these reservations, and to see, and it made me appreciate what we have here. It made me appreciate, I'm very grateful today. I'm grateful for what we have. And I've seen other places and what they have and what they don't have. And I was able to travel the country and tell stories and to be able to sing songs and things because I am singing Colorado, and I have so many people that I'm grateful for and proud of. And some of them are sitting right here on this council table, actually. I have Mr. Melvin Asset here. He's what I consider a champion. I'm so glad to have him up here sitting by the table here with his history and his experience and the life that he had. It's good to have him back here today. And it was just so much that I remember a couple years ago, it was probably about 80, I actually played for a Motown group called Exit. And when I played for this group, we traveled. I brought them to the Hall Reservation. I brought them to my home in Insular, and we rehearsed for a tour, a local tour. And so what we did was we traveled around the reservation while we were touring, or rehearsing. And some of these people were very, they hadn't been here before. They're from all over. They're from the Southwest. And so we were at basketball tournaments, we were at events, and there seemed to be a whole lot of events going on at that time. And we just traveled around and we did rehearse. But at the end of it, we took it all off of our van and we were heading towards one of the first gigs that we had. And one of the guys told me, "You guys have a lot of champions on your reservation." And so I said, "What?" And he said, "You have a lot of champions on your reservation." And it made me proud. I was in my 20s and to hear this, I realized that we take a lot of what we have for granted. And we do have a lot here to be grateful for. We have a lot of problems. We have a lot of things we need. There is a lot. We have some of the drug problems. We have a lot of problems that we need to deal with every day at our council table to deal with some of these issues the best we can. But we need your help. We need unity. We need to be together in order to fix some of these problems. But I'm here today as the chairman of the Colorado Business Council, and I'm very proud and honored to be with you today. And actually what I would like to do is I'd like to have the council introduce themselves.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Billy Nicholson. I represent the National District, and I currently serve as the Secretary for the Colorado Business Council.
Jack Ferguson from the Keller District, and I serve as the Chair for Employment and Education.
Welcome, Joseph Swampe, Keller District Council.
Baik, diskusikan di C.B.C.General untuk injiliwong kali ini chat. My name is C.B.C.General. I represent the H1 district and I am currently serving as the tribe's culture chair. Thank you.
My name is Nancy Johnson. Good morning. My English name is Nancy Johnson. Great to see you all.
Morning, Ricky Gabriel, Chair of Community Development Committee and elected out of the Spieling District, and happy to see everybody here. Hear your concerns. Thank you.
Good morning, Melton Haskett, Vice Chairman of the Tribal Council from the Omaha District.
Welcome everybody, Richardson Haskett, Omaha District.
Good morning, Mark Teal, Chairman of Law and Justice, Inchland District.
Good morning, Edward Marchand, Omaha District Councilman. Thank you.
White House requesting a booking is squeezed, relentless was the weekend in this good morning, my name is Badger, Andy Joseph Jr., Terry Hopkins Human Services Committee, and elected out of the Spieling District. Makes my heart happy to see everybody here today.
wife. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Alan Hammond, elected out of the H-Lane District, and I am sitting as a tribal government chair. Thank you for coming again.
Good morning, Mike Marchand, Omaha District. Okay, good morning, my name is Francis Amde, and I'm the Tribal Executive Director. Just a few housekeeping issues that we need to get out of the way this morning. There will be presentations by the administration, by the new corporation, and by CTFC, as well as Brian Dunn, the legislative person for the tribe. When you came in, the front desk had these questioning cards. You don't have to use them if you don't want to. There will be open mic this afternoon, but if you don't want to use the open mic, please use a little card. We'll gather them at lunchtime, and then we will put them in categories, and then we'll address them. Cards are not big enough? Ask for 2 or 3 then, okay?
How about just get some more paper?
So, I will restate the rules. How many of you have an agenda? If you have an agenda at the bottom, the rules for this afternoon will be applied. So, each speaker will be allotted 2 minutes. We ask that you keep your questions simple, direct, and brief. 2, speak in turn. Ask 1 question at a time and wait for the answer. Repeat speakers will only be considered if time permits, and so this afternoon will go from 1 to 3 p.m. Keep an open mind to all ideas and comments shared. We ask that you remain composed throughout the meeting. Personal criticism, profanity, and name calling are barred. As a general note, all personnel issues and matters are prohibited by tribal law and policy, so we won't be able to address any of those at this meeting. Okay, so moving on, I'm going to ask the representatives from Hill International
I don't
and
know.
Architect
I
West
have a question right now.
to make a presentation on the government center, and then I'll have a few closing remarks on that issue.
Good morning. My name is Scott Smith. I'm with International. We are the owner's representative and construction manager for the building center project. And with me today, I have Steve Roth with Architects West and Dave Whitelaw, also with Hill International. He's the site inspector. That's the data report. And Lois Hart is also here. She's with lighting. She's the office manager. But Francis asked us to give a little bit of a general overview and update on the project this morning. So with that, I will turn it over to Steve.
Hello everyone, my name is Steve Roth. I'm with Architects West, the design team that worked on the new Tribal Government Center building. First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing us to be here to say a few words about the project that's occurring just down the road. Hopefully I can give you enough information today to answer any questions you might have. We have a table set up over there, so after the presentations or during lunch, you're welcome to come by, ask us questions as needed. So it's an honor for me on behalf of the design team. There's a large group of people that all work together to get this project off the ground, I might say, and we were honored to be part of this. It's very exciting to see this building start to pop out of the ground. Many of you may have noticed driving down the highway. And I want to make sure that I say congratulations to all of you, the council and the membership, for realizing this dream that has taken years really to come to fruition. And here we are now, it's becoming reality. So congratulations to all of you for making this happen for future generations. So, as part of the overview of the project, normally when I speak, I don't like to read things off a piece of paper, but in this case, I'm going to do that just for a paragraph that I think describes the project very well. And then after that, I'm going to go through some slides. So this is something that was written during development of the project. It just helps everyone get an idea of what it's all about and what it's trying to do. The new Colville Tribal Government Center will provide a 21st century civic center and professional environment to a community deeply rooted in its history and culture. Connection to the land and the cycles of nature are examples of core tenets of Native American tribal culture integrated into the design and details of the center. The building design responds to the surrounding environment, particularly the extreme conditions of the high desert. The design balances the aesthetics of tradition, culture, and a strong relationship to nature with those of a progressive culture looking to the future. The new center will include shared-use meeting rooms, multi-use event spaces, informal meeting places, integrated multimedia technology, a cafe, fitness facilities, indoor and outdoor spaces, support facilities, and storage. The design features 2 primary wings that stretch east and west, connected by a 3-story lobby atrium. As a result, the building will exist in 4 directional wings, and a transparent 3-story living room with a direct view to nearby Moses Mountain accommodates opportunities for connectivity, socialization, and dining. The narrow dimensions of each quadrant of the building allow access to abundant daylighting and distant views for the majority of the building occupants. The building site is oriented nearly along a north-south axis to capture broad directional views onto the dramatic desert landscape. So here's a few statistics about the building, and I know this is going to be very hard for you to see and read for those of you that are far away, so I'll just read through these real quickly. The building is approximately 170,000 square feet. It's 3 stories, 45 feet tall. The site encompasses 18 acres. There are 50 tribal government departments housed inside the building. Construction duration is approximately 17 months. The expected completion is almost exactly a year from now, October 15th of 2015. And the cost of construction is approximately $36 million, which equates to $213 per square foot. So those are some basic statistics about the building project. I'm going to go through just a brief description of the design of the building, starting with the site. The site was planned out considering the orientation of the building for daylight, views, and in anticipation of prevailing winds. Design considered low maintenance features, low maintenance landscaping in an effort to keep the building in good shape for the long term at low cost. Regional forms and materials incorporating tribal themes were used, especially in the areas immediately adjacent to the building. Walk paths are incorporated surrounding the site, promoting health and wellness of tribal members. Traffic flow on the site, both pedestrian and vehicle, was oriented for accessibility for those with disabilities and also for tribal elders. Parking is designed in a way that's expandable. Phase 1 parking will accommodate the needs of the building, and additional parking can be added in the future as needed. Retention of existing trees was important on site. They are of high value given their scarcity in this particular location where the building exists, so we preserved as many of them as possible. Improvements to the Veterans Memorial were included up at the north end of the site. The building again was oriented in a north-south direction with long, narrow wings. The idea behind the long, narrow wings was to bring in as much daylight into the building and all of the working spaces as possible and provide maximum amount of views out to the surrounding landscape. In the basement, there's a history and archaeology repository that will include many artifacts, many tribal artifacts. On the first floor, there's included a multi-purpose room, which is shown in red on this diagram, that can hold up to 300 people for meetings such as this one. There's also a cafe and a copy center that will serve the needs of the entire building. The cafe could represent a business opportunity for tribal members potentially. Second floor of the building again, I know this is small and far away, but this is a good representation of the interior organization of the building, which puts the offices inboard away from the exterior walls and corridors along the exterior. What this does is allow all of the interior spaces to be able to share the daylight and the views from the building and not have them completely taken by offices. Third floor of the building, similar to the second floor, houses more departments, including the council chambers. On your screen, it's the upper right orange block. They're the northeast or northwest third floor portion of the building. Also shown in kind of the cream color in the middle are some of the shared spaces, including the 3-story glass atrium and the main lobbies. In the design of the building, one thing we tried hard to do is to bring the tribes into the future while still holding on to history and culture. One of the ways we did this is to take a look at existing tribal artwork and crafts from the past, trying to take cues from their patterns and their qualities. What's shown on this slide is an example of how we interpreted tribal arts and crafts and translated them into shapes and forms that can be applied to the building using modern architectural materials. Hopefully everyone will be able to see when the building is complete, there is a representation of tribal form and pattern included in the architecture, both inside and out. This picture, and please come by later and take a closer look over at the table, that includes what the building will eventually look like and incorporate some of those tribal patterns that came from artwork of the tribes. Another difficult to read slide, but one of the most important parts of the design of this building was to be sensitive to its use of energy and having it respect the environment that it's in. The building was designed with an exterior envelope and interior systems that are both highly sensitive to the cost of energy and how much is used. This slide represents one piece of study that was done relating to exterior environmental influence such as wind and sun studies to make sure the building was oriented and configured to take advantage of those as much as possible. The envelope of the building is a cutting-edge rain screen design with an insulation system that provides high insulating values at low cost. The examples here on the slide show that heat dissipation through the building is reduced by the insulation system that's being used on the outside. The mechanical system of the building incorporates a geothermal loop system. The geothermal system uses the heat or coolness of the earth to partially bring heat or cool into the building. The earth is at a constant 55 degrees. By circulating water through loops that are buried in the ground, we can supplement the heating system of the building with the temperature of the earth and reduce the cost of heating or cooling loop water outside the building. So these pictures show really the current status of construction. We're moving very fast. It's impressive to see the structure go up. Pretty soon, the exterior skin of the building will start to appear. It'll turn blue for a little while, and that's the insulation system you'll see going up. It may stay that way through the winter, but in the spring, the exterior skin will begin to be applied to the building, and you'll start to see it in its final form. This is a picture about a week ago of the current status of construction. And again, please feel free to stop by our table to take a closer look. And with that, I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be a part of this project. I think it's going to be a wonderful addition to the area and a wonderful building for the tribes to continue into the future. And I'll hand it back to Francis.
Thank you, Steve. Sure.
Yes, so I guess the circulating water cooling system you're talking about underground. How is that distributed into the water system? And where's your water come from to supply your heat? And is it digital control?
Here I go, being a bingo runner.
The heating system is run by a closed-loop water system. So the water is completely enclosed inside a piping system and is never allowed to dissipate into the earth, or it's never taken from the earth. It's merely circulated through the piping that's buried underground. So the water never enters or leaves that closed system. So there's no risk of, for instance, contamination of groundwater or issues like that. It's a completely closed system.
Okay, one of the things I want to talk about in closing is, on this project is how the Tribal Council has enforced tariff on this project. This project will be paying tariff fees, and we demanded that the contractors, Architects West, Hill International, and Lighting apply that and hire as many tribal members as possible on the job. I think that last number was around here somewhere, but we're running between 75 and 79% tribal members on the project. And I want to introduce two. I'm going to have two of them introduce themselves that work for Lighting and Hill International. Ladies.
Well, I didn't know I was going to be asked to speak, but anyway, I'm really proud to work for Lighting Construction, and they are really, because I'm there every day, I can see that they're making every effort to make this as much of a traffic project as possible. And thanks to Rich Staff's that comes by every day, twice a day, and we visit to make sure that the head count is accurate, and we present it to Hill International. And first is my kind of co-worker for different companies is Dave Michael.
Good morning. I'm with Hill International. It's a firm that was hired by the tribe to oversee the overall project and all subcontractors that are working on the project. And I'm there every day documenting what happens, taking most of these pictures that you see. And it's a great privilege to be working on this project.
Thank you very much. Can we have a round of applause for them, as well as all the tribal workers on the project? So I wanted to just take a moment and talk to you about the project budget and the financing for this. Originally, the Tribal Council allocated an amount of money from the Quanquan Fund to get us started. We have been able to do two things. We employed Travoy and Associates to go after what we call new market tax credits. Now, new market tax credits initially started out as a loan to a tribal corp who will own the building. But after the 7-year period, that will be converted to a grant to the tribe. I guess that was me. So it will be converted to a grant. The remainder of the financing for this project will be funded by a commercial loan through Key Bank. So the initial investment that the tribe allocated out of the Quanquan funds will be reimbursed. The resolution will be rescinded and that money will be put back into the Quanquan fund. So this project is totally financed by a commercial loan with Key Bank and new market tax credits. And this is the first time in the history of Gallville that we've used new market tax credits. And hopefully by the end of the project, October 31st, 2015, we will have secured $8.5 million in new market tax credits, which will be converted to a loan. So that's the financing of this package. Now I want to bring up a gentleman. His name is John Panamaroff, and he's the Chief Executive Officer for the newest corporation, CTSC, Services Corporation. I've got a question over here to me.
Tatsumei Oikulu. Inamaswani Smunknops. White, East Squeeze Smunknops. Good morning, everyone. It's nice to see everyone here. My name is Amelia Marchand, and I have a question about the tribal government building that's being constructed. A couple months ago, I had attended an Escalon district meeting where plans of the footprint were shared and the location of where the offices and tribal programs and departments would be. And at the time, I was an employee with the History and Archaeology program, and it was stated then, as it was just stated this morning, that the History and Archaeology program and the repository, which contains the artifacts from our 12 confederated tribes, will be located in the bottom of the building. And I believe that there was some reasoning for this because of security purposes. Hold on a second. Multitasking. So I just wanted to voice a concern that in having, oh no, he's fine, okay, teamwork. In having the artifacts from all of our 12 different tribes located in the basement of our tribal government building, I actually personally am not comfortable with that, because that means that our human remains, our ancestors, pieces of them that are recovered from construction sites, that are recovered as inadvertent discoveries from along the river, will be contained in the same building as many core and significant tribal government programs. This is actually very near and dear to me. I worked with the History and Archaeology program for a number of years. It started when I was in high school. But after getting my degree, I returned there. And I really, really care. And I want to see things done right. And I don't want any type of bad medicine or negativity to result from our ancestors not actually being at peace, not actually being at rest. So I really would like for everyone to consider the impacts of what it means to have our ancestors not reburied and not handled properly in culturally relevant, culturally sensitive ways that our traditions call for. Thank you.
I think that's a good question, and so I want to answer that in this way. We have made space available in the structure for the administrative functions and so on and so forth for history and archaeology if they choose to move. And I know this is an issue that the tribal council is discussing now. Many months ago, we raised this issue at the Escalon district meeting. We heard you loud and clearly. No human remains, no ancestral remains will be located in that part of the building. But I think tribal council is going to review that issue again and decide whether history and archaeology should stay in the space that they're in now. We certainly can use the space for future growth, and I also believe that IT is over, at least has made a request to take over a portion of that. So it's a good question. So now I would like to introduce this gentleman. Introduce yourself.
Shema, which is hello, greetings, and my name is Supia Lutzig. My name is John Panamaroff. I'm the new Chief Executive Officer son of Ben Penamaroff, the son of Wesley Soundline. My grandfather was Joel C.B.C.General and Helen Newkirk. I tell you this in respect to my elders, my custom, my cultures. Back home, I'm also a descendant of the Choctaw people. And yes, I do recognize that grandma, but a lot of you have cousins that look just like me, so I appreciate that. I thank the council, I thank the general membership for giving me an opportunity to speak today. This was an impromptu thing. I learned about this probably about 15 minutes ago, so please allow for me. I don't have a PowerPoint, but actually I think that's going to be a good thing for the first day to get to know myself and the new corporation. You can come over and visit me and Tyler over there at the booth. So, Caldwell Travel Solutions Corporation, new Section 17 corporation created by Tribal Council to represent you guys and to go out and actually start working and looking at government contracting and then diversifying the portfolio within the business sector. A lot of people have asked, well, why new Section 17 corporation? Well, there's a lot of reasons. There's a lot of paperwork in bureaucracy. I used to work out in Washington, D.C., used to work with the Assistant Secretary of Indian Affairs. And there's a lot of opportunities that when you have corporations that are associated with casinos or going into contracting, not necessarily on the federal sector, but on the state sector when we're working with the Office of Women and Minority-Owned Businesses and our set-aside work, we couldn't do that traditionally, but now we have some pathways to be able to go through. One of the current successes that we were just able to create was the new 1872 Force Protection Company, which is currently working and actually producing work with tribal members, doing security work on the G-Coast stand. So we are very proud and happy to be able to say that we have tribal members like Tyler that's actually working there as we speak. And we'll be working over the next 7 months with Doyon, another ANC, Alaska Native Corporation, to be taking the lead and working with the Army Corps of Engineers to become taking the lead and the prime contractor for those contracts here going forward. We're going to be working on restructuring a lot of things, really looking for some future perspectives and ways to diversify. Being Alaska Native, a lot of people hear about the 8A program, they hear about hub zoning, and a lot of federal contracting, and a lot of people think, hey, we're going to go get our 8A, and that's the end of the game. Well, that's actually the beginning. If we think of it in more of a traditional hunting and gathering area, getting our 8A application is basically like getting our hunting permit. Now it is absolutely our jobs to go out and get those kind of contracts. You may say, okay, well, gaming's so good, we have C-stores, but there is a huge amount of revenue that comes in from federal contracting. As an Alaska Native, I can tell you that some of our ANCs are grossing over $1 billion a year. And we really got into this government contracting, I don't want to call it game, but services in about 1996. So it hasn't been that long ago. And to see that kind of growth, I want to commend this council, I want to commend my board of directors, and I want to commend you guys as people to look forward and looking at diversifying so we can think of the next generations. As we know, today's actions become tomorrow's history. So what will people say about our time as leaders? And I'm happy and humbled to be able to be a servant to you guys, to your people, and be a leader on the business side for you. So Kuana, and thank you very much.
Thank you, John. So now I'd like to invite Craig Mullen and Tom Sargent to come up. They're going to do a financial overview for you in about 20 minutes. So who's going to do the presentation? Many of you haven't met Craig. Craig came to work for us about 3 or 4 months ago. He is a CPA. He worked for a tribe in Minnesota, and he's taken David to sing this place. So here's Craig Mullen.
Thank you very much. We're loading up the presentation here, and I realize now that numbers are going to be really small on the screen, and likely that provided a lot of